Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Man, I'm about to. Yeah, I appreciate you coming through, bro, so we can do this interview, bro.
Yeah, for sure.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, man. Let's give it like 5 little minutes, real quick. You know what I'm saying? Cause you know how this YouTube is and the algorithm is. Let a couple of people get up in here.
Yeah. For sure.
Yeah, man. You been good though, bro.
Yeah, I've been smooth, bro. I've been smooth. Yeah, I can't complain. Yep, just
Yes.
over here working a little bit, but everything cool though.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's what's up. That's what's up, man.
Yeah. You been alright? What's happening on your end?
Man, I've been good, bro. You know what I'm saying? I'm doing this right here. I just finished CDL school, so I got my CDL license and
Okay.
stuff. So
Yeah.
I just taking it a day at a time, man, trying to figure out what I really want to do.
Yeah. The CDL smooth though. Opens up a lot of doors.
No, no, big facts, man. Got that PSA too, man. So I really
Okay.
can drive anything.
Okay.
Yes, yes, sir. Turn this TV off, man.
Yeah, that's
Well, we
cool, man.
okay. All right, we can jump into it, bro. I'm really, you know what I'm saying? I really normally write it down, bro.
Yeah.
But, I was like, man, I know you. So, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I really ain't, this ain't even scripted. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, they just ask you the white questions, bro.
Yeah, that's cool, bro. We can run it.
I really, I already gone, you know what I'm saying? Welcome to the platform, bro. Go let the people know, you know what I'm saying, who you is, bro.
Yeah, I'm Rod. I'm from the Katy area, serial entrepreneur. Um, been knowing Travis for a long time since I was in high school, man. So anytime you reach out, I'm with it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You say you from the Katy area, so you
Yeah,
know what I'm
yeah.
saying. What schools you went out there, and how was it growing up out there in Katy?
Yeah, man. So I went to Maid Creek, out here in Katy, graduated in '05. It was cool, bro. It was cool, diverse, but it's cool, man. Like you around, like I said, it's really a melting pot. You got a little bit of individuals that integrated from the city. Then you got like folks who came up, out here in Katy. So you had a mix of everything. And then after Katrina, you had a lot of New Orleans implants that came out. So it was a cool environment though, growing up out in Katy area and at May Creek, to be honest.
Okay, okay, understood, understood. I what the high school you said? I mean, that's a high school you was talking about,
Yeah.
Madison, I think.
No,
Okay,
May Creek High School.
Main
Yep,
Creek.
it's one of the high schools out here in KISD.
Okay, when you got finished with high school, what did you do, bro?
Man, I went straight to college to play ball. So I went to Texas Lutheran University outside of San Antonio for 4 years, where I played football. Um, and I got an undergrad at Texas Lutheran, and then after that, I went to U of H for my master's. So I went straight through. Just went straight through.
Okay, when you say your masters and stuff, like what was it for?
So in pre-law is I had an undergrad and bachelor's of science, and then I had a specialization in pre-law, and then I got my master's in criminal defense and then mental health psychology. I wanted to be a counselor, LPC, and God kind of took another route for my life, but that's essentially what I wanted to do when I graduated. But I ended up getting in the medical field, which was strange on how I got into that space. But an opportunity kind of presented itself, and I took a leap, and doors opened up, and I ran with it.
Okay, so oh, you went to school for a lot of stuff. There, you say
Yeah,
for law, criminal justice, and then mental health and all like that. So when
yeah.
you say law, when you
Those are
say
my.
law,
Go ahead.
nah, go ahead and say what you was gonna say.
No, I said, those are my passions, but like a lot of people, a lot of individuals don't use their degree once they graduate. That's what, a lot of people don't understand. School is cool, college is cool, but a lot of people, think about it. You 18 to 22, 23 when you in your undergrad. And you may think at that time you know what you want to do in life. So you get a degree based on how you feel between 18 and 22. When you jump out
Okay,
in the real world, a lot of those degrees don't pay what they think they're gonna pay. And so you end up, diverting from your original plan, and that was my story. So I never used the degrees that I had, and nothing I do now. I own 9 companies. Nothing I do now is stemming from my undergrad or my postgraduate degrees. Actually, everything
So
is kind of like everything I got now is off of networking. To be honest with you,
okay, okay. So your lawyer's degree, you don't even use it. You don't even practice that or nothing.
no, yeah, I don't do anything in the law. I don't do anything in the law space. I know a lot of people in the law space through coming up
Uh-huh.
in that path, but I don't do anything in that space anymore.
Okay, bro, you just said you got 9 companies. You know what I'm telling you? Can you just, let us know what type of companies that you running, bro?
Yeah, so my very first was Caliber Medical Products. It's a manufacturer and a distribution of medical implants and biologics, like stem cells,
Okay.
bone graft, total hips, knees, screws, anything that's implantable in a patient during surgery is what we manufacture and distribute. And spin off of that is another company called Batson Surgical. Batson Surgical is the distribution company, so reps work for that company moving the products that Caliber kind of manufactures. Then I have Nori Trucking, so it's 18 wheelers. We do
Okay.
saltwater hauling. Um, I have Essential Speech and ABA. It's clinics for kids with autism. One of the more popular
Okay.
companies is Howdy Homemade Ice Cream. It's my ice cream shop that employs people with special needs. And so that's more of a passion project that I got involved with during COVID. So that's the one that kind of is on the news a lot. You know, a lot of people hear about and see about. But
Mhm.
those are some of the things that I've done later in life, kind of after I got financially set and stable. I started chasing companies that are more passion projects, not just revenue streams. I look at it like, my medical companies do so well. It's created like financial stability. So
Okay.
now everything I get into now is more like purpose driven, helping people. Like I'm in front of my emergency children's shelter right now. I have a shelter called Exceptional Abilities. It's an emergency children's shelter for kids that are removed for their parents' custody from CPS. And so that's another big project that we got going now. But it's stuff like that that I do now. Everything I do now is really just helping people and trying to motivate the youth and next step.
Okay, bro. When you say what you just said, like, what made you want to start helping people out and stuff, bro?
Like be honest, coming up, I saw so many people had the game and had the key, but they didn't share it. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people want you to do good, but they don't want you to do better than them. So I
Okay.
felt like a lot of people that was close to me had, the cheat codes to certain industries, but never really shared the knowledge for me to prosper and progress past where I was at. And so I always told myself, if God puts me on, I really want to reach my hand back and help others. You know what I mean? Because all of this is just gifts that he gave us. It really ain't ours. It's really his. And so not sharing it with others, I fear like God can one day come and take that. You know what I mean? And so I'm really big and passionate on sharing the blessings and the gifts that he really gave me with others that are deserving. And so everything I do now is really to look out for um, populations that are overlooked and underserved, essentially.
Okay. 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 All right. This is a question that I ask everybody. You know what I'm saying? When I interview them, you know what I'm saying? Like, they say mental health is very important, bro. So can you just speak on that right there? Mental health, bro.
Yeah, mental health is everything, to be honest, because like you got to think about it. Self care is everything, and that's what a lot of people don't take into consideration. You work so much, or you deal with so many toxic individuals, you never reset, you never check out and really take care of yourself. So me personally, I pray a lot, and I stay away from toxicity. You see what I'm saying? Whether
Okay.
it's your
Yes,
homeboys
sir.
you grew up with, females, cowork, whatever it is, I just stay away from toxicity. When it
Okay.
gets negative, I'm out the way.
Mm-hmm.
Because like you got a choice. You know what I'm saying? You either want to solve the problem, or you want to be the problem, and like I'm not really big on the gossiping, the mess, constantly kicking shit around. Like If there's a problem, let's address it. Let's get past it and move on, or let's get out of each other's way. You see what I mean? And so that has really helped me to keep my sanity and my peace, because a lot of people depend on you, whether you believe it or not. If you're a father,
Yes,
you
sir.
got kids. If you're a mother, you got kids. You got employees. You got, people in your life that may feed off your energy. So when you allow one or two people to suck you dry, you're really doing a disjustice to the ones that truly do need you and truly depend on you. You know what I mean? So I always remember that there's too many people out here that depend on me to be strong before, to be out here on some, you know what I mean?
Already. Okay. When you think of physical health, bro, like, you know what I'm saying? Can you give some game on like physical health, bro?
Working out and stuff like that.
Yeah,
You
working
know,
out, eating right, all that.
yeah. The eating part, everybody preach that, but that's hard. That's hard. That's hard. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? That's hard. That's hard. I tried a little 3-day liquid detox. I made it two
Okay.
days, but it's tough, man. It's tough. Again, you always can have goals. It don't mean you're gonna meet your goals, but I feel like putting a goal in place, you're gonna push further than if you didn't have one. You know what I'm saying? So if I have a
Yes,
goal
sir.
of detoxing on a liquid diet for 3 days, I may not meet my 3 day. I may meet a day and a half. But because I was striving for 3 days, doing a day and a half is still better than doing nothing. So I just feel like
Yes,
putting a
sir.
goal in place. If you say, look, I'm gonna drink a gallon of water a day, maybe you don't meet the gallon. Maybe you only drink 3 pints. That's probably more than you did before you set that goal. So physical health is everything, but don't set real unrealistic goals because that's how a lot of people get defeated. You know what I mean? You say, man, I'm gonna lose 10 pounds this week. Well, nah, you're not. And so when you
Yeah.
don't do that, you want to quit. You know what I mean? Instead of understanding that, look, I'm putting a goal in place and I may not meet that goal, but at least I'm pushing harder now than I did when I had no goal and no ambition.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Okay. All right. Yeah, I want to stay on like, okay, what you think we can do in the black community, brother? You know what I'm saying? To stop our younger brothers from going to prison and to stop them from killing each other.
Man, lead by example, like that same devil on the West Coast is that same devil right here in Houston. You know what I mean? And the problem
Hmm.
is like the youth ain't really got nothing to look up to. You know, the ones that is in their 30s and 40s, they still on that stupid shit too though. So
Okay.
it's hard to have a voice when you're not leading by example for real. You know what I mean? You can't
Yes,
have
sir.
what you can't have fake it. That's why a lot of people fell out of the church because most people only want to go on Sunday and throw their hands up and do that worship, and right when they come up out of there, they back on that silliness. You know what I mean? So it's like it's
Nah,
like it's an act. You know, right? So I feel like from the top down, it really got to be changed, and that goes for like the folks our age, all the way down to the youngsters. The elders is talking shit about the youngsters. The youngsters talking shit about the elders, and it's like it's a disconnect because we don't respect what they doing, but they ain't respecting what we doing either. Y'all not, I'm saying y'all. I'm saying folks our age, they not in their kids' lives like that. They not really
hmm.
respecting the females in their life. They not really like getting up every day, really trying to hustle and pay bills and take care of the family like that. They just putting on for social media. And you may not
Yeah.
understand, but the youngsters see that, your
Hmm.
sons and stuff, they see that. They see that you on social media capping, but they ain't seen you this week. You see what I'm saying? You didn't put some new wheels on your car, but he 15, 16 and they got no wheels yet. So it's like
Yeah.
it's that type of shit that our community really suffers from. Like it's a selfish mindset, you know what I mean? And so I feel like from the top down, there needs to be more leadership. There needs to be more people who don't just talk it, but they really walk it.
Okay. Understood. Okay, bro, we really got some more people that just came in. So can you like talk about, you know what I'm saying, what you do for the community again, bro?
Yeah. So, I mean, I do a lot for community. It's just I don't really broadcast it much. You know what I mean? I'm one of the
Okay.
ones that just that's really my passion. So you may not see me on the news and on the internet like that, but I put a lot of money behind a lot of people you see on the news. And Travis, you
Yeah.
may
Okay.
understand what I'm saying. So,
Okay.
but
Okay.
when it comes to like the special needs community, when it comes to like every year, I throw a big party for those in need. So I've adopted kids from Garden City 2, 3 years in a row. Sent party buses to Garden City projects and bought them to Katy, threw them Christmas parties. You know what I mean? I've done it for CUNY homes. Anything that's helping individuals, that's really kind of what I stand for. Because like I said, these gifts that God gave me they not mine. You know what I mean? God gave them to me, and so I just want to share them with whoever I can. And that's really what I want to be remembered for is just a solid, genuine individual, not somebody that wants the clout and the internet fame and the cameras in my face and all that stuff. I really just want to genuinely help and not talk about it.
I got you. I got you, bro. I got you. Is it anything that you got coming up, bro, that you want to share with the people?
Yeah. So I have a big partnership with Kroger's, actually. So I started a staffing agency for those with special needs. It's the first staffing agency in the nation for individuals with special needs. I partner with Kroger's
Okay.
because Kroger's is the #1 retailer in the nation. Kroger's is vouching to hire 5 to 10 individuals per location, individuals from my staffing agency, those with special needs. But it's not just individuals with special needs. Every Kroger's needs one individual that is going to manage those with special needs that are working at their Kroger's because they're going to be doing sampling.
Okay.
So they're going to help move products on the shelf that aren't moving, essentially. So it's not just with those with special needs, but 85% of my staff will be with special needs. But individuals that don't have special needs can still work in Kroger's under my staffing agency, serving as that manager for those with special needs. It's $15 to $20 an hour for that position. And essentially you're just overseeing those in that store that work for my staffing agency and to make sure they're straight. So that's the next
Okay.
big thing that the news kind of will promote, and you'll see some press conferences coming up about. But like I said, everything I do now is really creating opportunity for those that don't have opportunities.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. I really do want to say thank you, bro. You know what I'm saying? Because I see you doing your thing out here, bro, and we need people like you out here, bro. Real talk.
Man, I appreciate it, man. I appreciate it. It's fun. When you're doing what God called you to do, it really doesn't feel like work. And
Okay.
when you
Okay.
chase your passion, the money will come. I spent a lot of my time chasing money, and it came,
Yeah.
but it wasn't fulfilled. You know what I mean? Like I didn't feel fulfilled by doing that, man. I remember my whole life, like I remember growing up, I say, man, if I can ever buy a Lamborghini, like that's the pinnacle. Like I'll be the happiest man in the world. I was 29 years old and I cashed out on one. And
Yeah.
about 3 months later, it was sitting in the garage, man. I barely drove the car because it was such like an empty goal. You know what I mean? It was a
Okay.
selfish, self-fulfilling goal of like, I got this material, but who am I really helping and who am I really serving by chasing this? You know what I mean? And that was kind of my wake-up call to see that like 20 years of chasing something, you finally get it, and it does nothing for you really. Now it's cool to have that stuff, like like I got cars, I got slabs, I got all that, but that isn't like my identity though. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I do that stuff because I really have a passion for that and I love cars, but that's not my ultimate goal anymore. My ultimate goal is really serving people and living with a purpose.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right. This just popped up in my head, bro. Like I say, as we going through this, stuff just popping up. Hey, when we talk about investments, what would you call a smart investment?
In yourself, bet on
Okay.
yourself. You see the stock market, you see all that. You don't have any control over that, right? If you got a lot of money to play with, then dump into that and don't look at it. If you can put whatever amount of money into that market and not look at for 3 to 5 years, do it. But if you putting something in that and you need it in 6 months, it's not for you. I think the smartest investment is in yourself, and that can be your mental health. That can be going back to school. That can be jumping off that bridge and just taking a chance on something that you've always had in your mind that you wanted to do, but you're hesitant to do because you may be afraid that you may fail. I'm really big on that, man. Like take a risk on yourself. Betting on yourself is the best bet.
Yeah, my bad. G. I heard like a little clicking noise in here, so it was kind of messing up the audio.
You all right?
So I had to turn
You
it
all
in.
right?
For the people that's in there, when y'all hear the audio messing up, let me know. You know what I'm saying? I want to have a good interview to you know what I'm saying, people go back and watch it. They won't get irritated by the background noise. So let me know, man, when the audio get to messing up. But okay, yeah, I heard what you said, bro. I heard what you said. And that's some good game, bro. That's some
Yeah,
good
man.
game.
Yeah. And invest in a solid team too, because like I said, like, I have over 120 employees. But the truth is, like, I couldn't do it without my sister, without individuals around me that really don't get that praise, you know what I'm saying? But they really are the ones that are the backbone. I got big ideas and I know how to make some money, but I couldn't do it without a strong team. You know what I mean? And a lot of time, us as men, especially black men, like we want to take it all on ourselves. Like we want to be that alpha. And if I'm being all the way real with you, like getting a strong female in your life is really game changing because that's really helped me through some of my hardest times, to be real, in business and life, whether it's your mama, your other half, or just having like a dope relationship with your daughter. It's something different about really like having strong females around you that can keep you grounded and keep you focused. You know what I mean? Um,
Yes,
and that's
sir.
really
Yes,
helped
sir.
me, bro. Like I got some real strong women in my companies that my companies wouldn't be what they was if they weren't around, to be honest with you.
Okay. Right. I normally ask this question right to, like, you know what I'm saying, trying to give some the young YNs some game. But at the end of the day, like, I think it's bigger than just them. So if
Yeah.
you could give some people some game, what would you give them?
If I was to give some game,
Yeah. If you was to give some people some game, what kind of game would you give them?
man, this is what I say. Like, you gotta live for what's right. You gotta live for you gotta find your purpose. One. And
Mm-hmm.
you gotta do what's best for you. Like what happens in our community is we live for everything else but ourselves and our family until it's too late. You know what I'm saying? When you go to jail, then you all about your family. You know what I'm saying? But right when you come back home, you right back into these streets or these people's faces that really don't care too much about you. So I think the biggest thing is like to find your purpose, your passion, and really live for what's best for you in your life. You know what I mean? And whatever that is, everybody's calling is different. But when you have a purpose and a passion, you stay from being distracted. You know what I mean? You get distracted because you bored and you really lost. But to keep from being lost, you got to find your passion and your purpose. And yours may look different than mine. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But when you find it, you find fulfillment. And that like the greatest gift is inspiration. It's not giving somebody a hand. You know what I'm saying? It's not giving somebody a
Mm-hmm.
handout, I should say. It's really an
Okay.
inspiration. And in order to be an inspiration, you got to really walk it. You see what I'm saying? And in order to walk it, you got to be walking in your passion and your purpose, so people can really see the how that you authentic. You know what I mean? And
Yes.
that's what really changed me. I'm not a pastor, nothing like that, so I can't tell you no magical words, but I can tell you like when you find yourself and what is for you, nobody can take that from you. You know what I'm saying? Because
Yes,
God
sir.
has
Yes,
something
sir.
for all of us, bro. For you, for me, God got a plan for all of us. You got to figure that plan out though. And when you figure that out, nobody can take that from you.
Okay. Yeah, that's some good game. That's some good game. I ain't gonna lie to you. We really almost done with the interview and the questions that I did. have for you, like, you know what I'm saying, talking about personal life and stuff, you know what I'm saying? You already said having a good woman and all like that, so that we ain't even gotta ask that question. But what type of music and stuff you listening to nowadays, bro?
Man, I done got into a little mood where I be on, Friday, man. I've been on his album real tough, but I'm on that R&B shit right now, man. Yeah,
Yeah,
I've been
me too.
heavy on this R. I've been heavy on this R&B lately, man. That Friday
Okay,
album been
okay,
on repeat though. Friday jamming right now. He one of the ones I keep in the deck. Uh, but really R&B right now. It depends though, man. I go through different little phases.
okay, okay. Understood, understood. Well, you do any business in the music area? Like, do you do anything in the music?
I don't, man. Like, so I just did something with J Dog and Cal Wayne about 2 months ago. But what I like to do, man, is just put money behind people that I believe in. You know what I'm saying? I don't really care to be on the front street or the face or nothing like that. But a lot of times I'll invest in individuals. Like if they got a project or they got something that makes sense, uh, I'm really big on that. Like I'll put my money up behind somebody uh, because at the end of the day, believing in people like can really help a person. You know what I'm saying? That
Yes, sir.
sometimes to be the crippling aspect. Like a lot of people got goals and ambitions and dreams, but like nobody believes in it. And that's deflating. You see what I mean? It's sometimes deflating to like not have somebody believe, you know what I mean? Um, so that's what I try to do, man. I try to, put my efforts behind individuals that I believe in. But the rap game is just so up and down. It's so finicky. Uh, Sometimes it's a bad investment, to be honest.
Man, I ain't gonna lie to you, man. It seems like you walking into a nice little spot right now, man. I'm gonna ask you
Yeah.
a question, man. Are you renting or do you own it?
Nah, I own everything.
Okay, okay,
Yeah. Yeah. hmm Yeah, yeah,
understood,
yeah. Yeah, nah.
understood.
But ain't nothing wrong with renting though. Ain't nothing wrong with renting. You know what I'm saying? It's just again, like I wanted to leave something behind for my youngins. You know what I mean? I have 2 kids. I have a son that's 8 and a daughter that's 6. And so a lot of stuff that
Okay,
I do, bro, is really like set up to leave something behind for them. You know what I mean? Like classic cars, buy classic cars that appreciate. And I put them in a trust. And so when my kids graduate, I sign it off to them. So like these are college saving plans that I have. You know what I mean? Like homes, real estate, stuff like that is really it doesn't make me much money right now, but in the big end with my kids in their 20s and 30s, it's stuff that I can leave behind for them. A lot of people die, we just leave behind debt. You know what I mean? So I'm trying to change that trajectory so my kids don't have to work as hard as I did.
hey, I gotta come back out and again because it's making that noise, really, bro. I gotta come back out.
All right.
Yes, sir. But yeah, we back on, bro. This really like my second week doing these interviews, bro.
That's what's up.
So this morning I had like a little show, like hot topics. You know what I'm saying? Just talking about everything that's really going on. And somebody blessed me with $50. You know what I'm telling you?
Yeah,
So
that's what's up.
with that 50, I was on TikTok and some stuff just popped up on my phone. And it was like the little podcast stuff, the mic, the anaphaser, you know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. And I was like, man, this right here kind of cheap. So I was like,
Yeah.
man, you know what? Just so I have my audio and stuff right. You know what I'm saying? When I do these interviews, have my mic and stuff, I say, man, I'm going to get that. So I went on ahead and ordered it. You know what I'm
That's what's
saying?
up. That's what's up.
Okay, bro, when you talk about classic cars and stuff, we want to get into the slabs and stuff like, you know what I'm saying? What made you wanted to start building slabs, and what made you want to start purchasing, you know what I'm saying, classic cars? And what kind of slabs and classic cars do you have, bro?
Yeah. So Billy Ray was the one who put me on the slab game when I was coming out there with
Mhm.
the boss, and I was sitting in the front
Yeah.
yard out there in
Rest in peace.
Winterrun with,
Rest
with,
in
with
peace.
yeah with Billy Ray and them. He put together my little Monte Carlo back when I was in high school, that Candy Blue
Yes.
one I had. So I always had a passion for that. You know what I mean? Because
Mhm.
that coach was cool, bro. Um, Now being out here in Katy, riding on long wheels and stuff like that just ain't it. They gonna them laws hot, bro. So um, now I have classics, like a 1960 Cadillac, 1960 Impala. My 60 Cadillac and my 60 Impala got swingers on it. Uh, Texan Wild Wheel made some 14-inch elbows that they promoted on my red 1960 Impala on switches because he's trying to get into that lowrider world. Um, but I got a fleet. I got a fleet. I got some stuff I'm
Okay.
putting together too that this summer I'm gonna come out with.
Okay. Understood. Understood. All right. That was the next question. All right. Okay. You spoke on Lil Boss. You still here with me, bro?
Yeah, I'm right.
Yeah. Okay. Shout out to Lil Boss. Shout out to Lil Boss. Hey, how did you really meet them brothers? You know what I'm saying? How did you even like
Yeah,
a part of a part of the ABN? You know what I'm saying? Movement.
yeah. So I was in sixth grade, and Trey and Zero moved out into my neighborhood out here in Katy. And
Okay.
so the next day at school, Jayton came to school. And I didn't know who Jayton was, but I knew Trey at the time, or who he was, I should say. And Jayton was
Mm-hmm.
saying, my big brother's Trey Woo Woo. And we thought he was bullshit. Cause I'm like, man, we way out here in Katy, like Trey and Zero ain't out here, you know what I mean? And
Yeah.
after school, they pulled up. Trey and Zero pulled up to pick Jayton up. And later that day, I ended up going over to their house and sat in the studio with them for a little bit, and the rest is history. You know what I'm saying? That's when I met Boss and Trey and everybody, and I kind of been rocking with them since I was in sixth grade.
I read it, man. Shout out to them boys too, man. Hey, shout out to Trey too, though, because you know what I'm saying. I see he got his relief. You know what it's called, the relief.
Relief games. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, relief bank. And you know, man, one thing about that brother, man, you know, tell me he always come through in the clutch. You know?
He got Trey got a big heart, man. Trey got a big heart. He a solid dude. A lot of controversy on his name that I don't get into. Everybody can have their
Mm-hmm.
opinion, but at the end of the day, nobody can take away what he do for the community, what he do for people, and to be all the way honest, what he did for people like myself. You know what I'm saying? I'm very successful in the business world, but Trey has given me a lot of game over the last 25 years too, though. You know what I mean? Uh, I watched that man's work ethic. A lot of people don't realize that, like his work ethic when it comes to like music and helping folk and how many phone calls he has to cipher through a day, how many people he helps that he don't put online, how much money he's came out of his pocket in the last 2 decades to help those in need. There's so much that like a lot of people don't see, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That he's done for people, man. So, I'm always speak highly of him, not just because I've known him for 25 years, but because I rock with anybody who genuinely shares a passion for helping people. And one thing I can say about him is he really shares a passion for that. You know what I mean? You don't get paid for doing what people like him do in regards to jumping out there in flood waters to help folk. You know what I mean? Uh, he really shares a passion for that, man. He a good hearted dude, man.
Man, shout out to Trey, man. I got one thing that I want to say. I remember one day, you know what I'm saying, he wanted to put some swangers on something, so we ended up going to a shop somewhere on Homestead off 59 somewhere. And you know what I'm saying? I was young. I probably about 15, 16 years old. And you know, me just listening to his music, I always for him as a street guy. So I was like, man, I just know Trey about to pull out a whole bunch of money. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I said, he about to pull out a wad of money and just cash it out, cash it out. Man, this dude pulled out a credit card and told him to charge him. I was like,
Yeah. Yeah,
I say,
yeah, yeah,
yeah, that was
yeah,
like the first street dude I ever seen with a credit card. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
I was like, you know
Nah,
what?
Trey got a lot of sense, man. Trey got a lot of sense. Trey's an intelligent dude though, when it really come down to it.
Mhm.
Yeah, and he got a good family. His mom is Debbie, solid. Uh, nah, he good dude, man. Good dude.
Well, bro, I really ain't got no questions or nothing. I got one more question, but man, is there anything else that you really want, you know what I'm saying, tell people and from the people on anything, bro?
Nah, I really just wanted to come and support your platform, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I appreciate you too, bro. For real, real talk. But I ask this question at the end of every show, bro. This if life had a reset button, bro, would you push it?
I wouldn't. Nah, I wouldn't, man. Um, I don't. I wouldn't, man. I feel like everything that's happened in my life was for a reason, and it's all stepping stones. And if I can redo it again, of course, hindsight is 2020. You know what I'm saying? But I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't personally. I'm blessed. I love my kids. I love where I'm at in life. I love all the experiences that I've been through, and I'm really excited for what the future holds. So, because I look so forward to what's in my future, I'm not really fixated on resetting and going back. You know what I'm saying? It's
Yes,
like
sir.
I don't live in the rearview mirror, so I don't want to go back. Type. I'm really excited about what's ahead. So if anything, shit, I fast forward a little bit because I know some good stuff coming. I'm good on the resetting.
Okay, okay. And you know what I'm saying? I know we're gonna get a lot of, you know what I'm saying, replays back. But you know what I'm saying? If people want to contact you or anything, bro, you know what I'm saying? What could they reach you at, bro?
Yeah, so multiple websites. So you can go to calibermedicalproducts.com. You can go to howdyhomemadekatie.com or exceptionalabilities.com. Those three websites have my contact information. It goes straight to my email. It goes straight to my line. So anybody got questions, anything like that, follow my social media pages or my websites. Easy way to contact.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm back, bro. Well, man, I appreciate you, man, for pulling up and knocking this interview out, bro. Real talk, man. You know what I'm saying? Because this is a great interview and it's way different from the ones that I did, bro. So I want to thank you, bro, for coming and bless the platform. Okay, yeah, we back, man. Shout out to Rob, man, for coming to bless the platform, man. You know what I'm saying? Miss Market Ready, man. Go check this out, man. You know what I'm saying? This is gonna be a nice little interview. And I really hold on, you pull it back up.
Hey,
Oh yeah, we back, bro. Yeah, I want to appreciate you for coming to bless the platform with the interview, bro.
yeah,
Yes,
definitely, bro.
sir. Yeah, this
Yeah,
this was way different than the interviews that I did because you know most of them be about music and people having their own record label and
okay.
promoting their clothing and stuff. But you don't want no clothing brand or nothing, or you
Mm-mm,
not into it. Okay,
mm-mm.
okay.
Nah, I just kind of stay in my lane. I support different brands like that, but that's not really my passion or focus. I really don't know much about that space.
Okay. Well, I appreciate you, bro. You know what I'm saying? The interview over with, bro. And you know what I'm saying? Whenever, you know what I'm saying, have anything else going on, you know what I'm saying? I want to get you back on, you know what I'm saying, so we can promote this stuff, bro. So we
Okay.
can, you know.
We'll stay locked in with each other, man. And yeah, we'll do that for sure.
Yes, sir, bro. Hold it down, bro. And I'm
All
gonna
right.
get with you, bro.
All right. I appreciate it, Trap.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you, bro.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah, so man, we done knocked this interview out. You know what I'm telling you? The next interview, if y'all see, he mentioned Cal Wayne and J Dog. So you know what I'm saying? Let's see if Cal Wayne gonna be available later on today. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna get like a little 30, 40 minute interview out of him. And y'all know that J Dog interview coming real soon. So at the end of the day, man, you know what I'm saying? Man, I hope y'all paying attention. Yeah, I hope y'all paying attention, man. You know what I'm saying? Because as you can see, you know, the brother is willing to, you know what I'm saying, support other people and stuff. You know what I'm saying? But one thing about it, you got to believe in yourself. So, you know what I'm saying? If y'all really got something going on, I think this is the dude that you probably want to talk to because he's connected. And as I heard him say, man, he got over 9 businesses. You know what I'm telling you? That's flourishing. So yeah, with that being said, man, y'all hold it down, and I'm up out of here. Appreciate everybody coming through, man. Make sure you hit the like button and drop a comment after the live is over with. Y'all have a great day.